Hey, dude.
Hey, dude, what's happening?
No, not much. Just hanging on your couch, bro.
Oh, right on. Oh, this is my couch?
Yeah, man.
Oh, right on.
All these up here are yours.
Well, no.
No?
All the ways.
Yeah, I found, especially with Spotify now, this is down in the hole, by the way. I am Blaine.
I'm Jono.
And
We're
this
chilling.
is what we're doing. And it always ends up, we're talking about music.
It's just music is just life's greatest religion. It's the only religion.
And I'm having an issue now. I'm not going to be able to find all the great shit.
There's so much good stuff out there. It's wild.
And I wrote this down too, like, as far as show notes go, topics, talking points. Stuff that you, what did I typed it out. It actually says, like, why didn't I know about this awesome stuff sooner?
Right
That's
on.
the name of the segment today.
Right on. Let's go.
You want me to start?
You see it was, yep.
So, I'll start a few years back now, but like, I've been listening to heavy metal for a long time. And then once the internet started, you can definitely find a lot more stuff with YouTube, Spotify, everything streams now. And it's just music for fucking ever.
Forever.
Love it. So then it's like, hey, if you like this, you might like that. So, I find Windhand, I find Monolord, I find all these bands. And then I start listening to High on Fire because that's Matt Pike from Sleep. I love Sleep. Sleep's a fucking awesome band. Love those guys. Why am I not listening to Matt Pike's band High on Fire? Because I'm an idiot. They're amazing. They don't have a bad song. They've got like 9 albums or whatever it is.
Those orange amps are just crushing.
And like, it's so good. It's like if you like Motorhead, you would like High on Fire. It's rock and roll, man. And Pike just came out with a brand new album, Matt Pike versus the Automaton, which I believe I got in the mail one time. We actually opened it up on Down in the Hole.
Yeah, I think so.
And spinning a hole through that record.
That was a few minutes ago.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. And I'm just like, why did I just... You can't absorb everything, I guess, and some of the stuff just gets by your radar, right?
Yeah.
But now then I finally jump on that bandwagon, I've got tons of content to sift through, and like, I can't find a bad High on Fire song. So I'm sure that's happened to you.
Absolutely. One that comes to my mind is Periphery.
Okay.
They're like a proggy metalcore band. But for me, it's basically like guitar porn.
Oh, really?
The way a lot of people looked at like Protest the Hero and shit like that. Yeah, and I wish I had got into them a long time ago. They're absolutely awesome.
That's the thing. You're like, I haven't been watching. You haven't been paying attention, but you have, because there's so much music.
There was a band that I stumbled across. I think it was in like a YouTube ad, I want to say, but they're like a band out of Finland called Horizon Ignited.
Okay.
And they're just unreal. And it was just a random like.
Speaking about bands from over there too, like In Flames comes to mind too, because I was into them in the 90s.
Yeah, they don't sound like they did when they were in the 90s.
No, but their newest album is really fucking good.
I haven't checked it out. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, like there's a couple in there where, I just pass. Don't listen. I didn't listen to an In Flames album for probably 15 years. And then a new one popped up on the Spotify.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is actually really good. I sent it to my brother Ryan because he was a big In Flames guy, and he's like, "Holy shit, they're good again!" I'm like, "Yeah,
it's that's cool. That's awesome to see.
Yeah,
absolutely awesome to see."
There was another band, I was thinking about too, Kvelertak. How they spell it is weird because they're from over there too. They're from Europe.
Yeah.
Kvelertak. T-A-K.
Sure.
And it's pronounced Kvelertak. You don't pronounce the K, I guess. Another amazing band. I was shoveling snow last year, and I was just like, I'm going to go out and shovel some snow, listen to some tunes, Let's try something new. And I started thinking like stuff I was hearing on like satellite radio because I used to listen to liquid metal.
Yeah.
And I remember Kvelertak came up a couple times. I'm like, well, they were kind of cool. And then never really dug into it. Fucking phenomenal, dude. I would actually kind of put them in the same vein as Gojira.
Yeah, fair enough.
Where they have that, they just have a groove and there's something else going on there. And I'm thinking, I really got to start digging into that band now. I got to get back on it because that was back in the wintertime because I remember I put the headset on and I listened to like 2 of their albums because it was a really snowy day. And I was out there for a couple hours and Kvelertak got me through it, chucking snow around.
Hell yeah, man.
And yeah, that band, not a bad song. Hit the first album I clicked play on, was the whole thing. I'm like, how did I not find out about this sooner?
Knotfest 2019, I saw Behemoth.
Ooh.
And I'd never listened to them before that day. And I was like, holy shit, where have I been?
So, yeah, see, me, same thing. I haven't really listened. I know who Behemoth is. I got to dive into them a bit more. But to see, the first time you ever really heard them was live.
And it was
you're done.
Whoa.
You're
done.
It
was awesome.
I find that's probably like that with a lot of bands. If you ended up seeing them live, you'd be hooked on it.
Yeah.
Another one of mine would be Kvelertak. Again, with the groove, man, like right in there with like High on Fire sound and stuff, like almost punk rock, but it's like psychedelic, not psychedelic. It's like a doom metal rock punk stuff.
Huh.
Female lead singer, and they fucking rip. And I'm like, man, Kvelertak, they're so good. Look them up. They haven't had an album in like 10 years because they just split apart and went and got day jobs or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Because I started researching a little bit. I'm like, oh man, there's no album. It's like, nobody passed away.
Yeah.
They just haven't done the band. So
fair enough.
I'm like, but there's a lot of really solid albums there. And they covered a couple of tunes. I think it was Paranoid. I was sitting there listening to it. I'm like, why does that sound familiar? Because they really changed it a lot. And then once she started singing the lyrics, I'm like, oh shit, that's Paranoid. That's awesome.
That's wicked.
So I like it when a band can have a cover song and it doesn't even, it sounds completely different from the original. It's always a bonus. That's a really good band though, man. Kvelertak.
Absolutely check them out.
Yeah. I'll send you some links.
Send me some links.
What else you got? Any other ones?
Oh, man, not off the top of my head. There's a new album. There's a band called Motionless In White. And it was a band I saw probably 10 years ago now.
Okay.
And I haven't, they were an opener for Trivium and Asking Alexandria. And they were good. They were good, but I didn't, after that show, I never really got into them. And then they just released a new album.
Oh.
And man, it is friggin' awesome.
I love that.
It's called Scoring the End of the World, or I'll have to look it up. But
what was the name of that?
Man, it's Motionless In White. I don't know if they're probably not up your alley.
Yeah, because that's the great thing about metal. Is so much.
There's so much, country music, for example.
Motionless In White.
Yeah, Scoring
the End of the World.
Yeah, and there's some really good bangers on that album.
2022, brand spanking new.
Yeah, and it was one, honestly, I read about this album, there was a Twitter post. And I was like, oh, I'll check it out. I don't listen, I don't have satellite radio, and I don't hear anything new that I like on radio, so.
Yeah, you'll never hear anything cool on there.
No, so, I'll usually, I'll just see what a lot of people are, talking about and are into online. There was a post on Facebook from Misha Mansour from Periphery, and he was looking for suggestions from fans. If you were putting a wicked stereo in your car, who would you go to demo the speakers? And one of the bands that was brought up in that was Carnival.
Okay.
Never listened to them. I've heard of them.
I've heard the name before.
I've never listened to them, but I started and I was like, huh.
Okay.
This sounds pretty friggin' gnarly.
Carnival.
So you can find really awesome music and just
Yeah.
in the craziest of places. Like, follow, if you're using social media, like, stop watching cat videos and shit. Follow your favorite bands. Find out who's playing with them.
Follow who they're following.
Follow who they're following. See who the other bands are in the lineup. Check them out too if you've never listened to them. You never know.
Like when I'm on that Spotify and then you roll to the bottom, fans also like.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to Windhand and I'm like, roll down. I'm like, fans also like Stone Jesus. Yep. Dozer. Yep. Elder. Yep. Earthless. Yep. And it just keeps going.
Yeah. It's just any way you can get out there and branch out and check out new stuff. Just, you're not going to find it on FM radio.
And that was it.
So, I'm sure there's amazing stuff on satellite radio. I don't have it, so I can't comment on it.
Yeah.
But just there's tons of ways to find the new music. Just got to go out and do it.
Satellite radio is cool. They have a heavy metal channel, but for me, it kind of gets that same radio thing where they play the same music a lot. I do have different shows that play different stuff.
Yeah, like I'm not going to take anything away from classic rock. Like there's a lot of classic rock I enjoy.
Yeah.
But like, come on, we've all been listening to it for 637 years.
Well,
let's open our ears and embrace new artists and new upcoming bands that are trying to make it. No bias or anything out of me.
But anybody who says rock and roll is dead is lying.
It's just nobody. You gotta just.
It's there.
It's there. You gotta find it. Which honestly makes it even more fun. Because then you're going to run into some diamonds in the rough that'll just blow your mind.
Going to the record store now because I got I got a turntable. So I'm spending way too much money on fucking vinyl.
Just buying random stuff.
That sounds so good. Yeah. Got like the Fragile from 9 Inch Nails. Didn't know that's a rare thing to have, I guess. My buddy Josh, I'm trying to find him a copy of it. He can't find a copy anywhere. It sounds so much better. And like I'll grab random stuff. So this is another one. Why didn't I know about these guys sooner? Why didn't pronounce your words? Enunciate. Why didn't I find out about this stuff sooner? Was Cathedral. We're in the thing, and I'm looking through all the metal. I'm like, oh, damn, Electric Wizard. Sick. Love those guys. Buy that one. Flip, flip, flip. And then I'm like, oh, Cathedral. I heard they're pretty good. Dude.
I'll have to check them out.
They're like, the album I got was The Ethereal Mirror from like 1993. Like I was 13.
Yeah.
I didn't have it. There was no internet. I didn't know that. Like this, and like their first album came out like 1990, so I would have been like 10 or 1991. And I'm just like, I look at the year on this stuff. Even some of like Caius's early albums, like 91. I was 11, dude. I'm listening to all this stuff now when I'm 40. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah. Like
30 years this music's been around. And I'm just finding it now. Cathedral is phenomenal. I bought the album and I had like a Baroness album. I think I was saying it's like five vinyls because they just write an album and it takes 2 hours to listen to it. Cathedral, it's just one vinyl. It's 5 tracks on one side, 5 on the other.
Keep it simple.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minute songs, not 23-minute epics like what Baroness will do to you, which is great. Baroness is great. And I put this album on, I looked at Shelley, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? How the hell have I knew the name Cathedral. I knew they were like a doom band that kind of sounds like, I would put them in like Pentagram, Black Sabbath, Pentagram, The Obsessed, really old school sounding, really grimy, heavy, fucking really riff driven shit.
Yeah.
Really good groove. I'm listening to this music going, I've been a huge fan of like Wino Weinrich from The Obsessed and Place of Skulls, and he did an album, Shrine Builder. He did an album. It was a super group. So it's Wino from The Obsessed. It's Al from Sleep. I can't remember his fucking name from Neurosis. And I think the drummer's the guy from the Melvins. This album is fucking phenomenal. So, and then I'm on Neurosis. I'm like, oh yeah, Neurosis is fucking sick. But that Cathedral sounds a lot like what Wino was doing with that old school sounding kind of like it's just doom, man. Just like a guy with a guitar. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Wino's other band, Saint Vitus. And I find it weird too. That's why I made this list of stuff like how the hell did I not find out about it sooner? Because if I'm listening to St. Vitus and Pentagram and The Obsessed, how come I didn't stumble across Cathedral?
Strange world, man.
There's too much. And there's not enough time, man.
Well, I don't think I got any more off the top of my head.
Yeah. We always end up talking music, which is never a bad thing. And yeah, I feel like if we've got a good 40, 50 years left in us, we're going to try our damnedest to find all the cool shit.
Oh, yeah, we will. That's how we roll.
I'm a big Cathedral fan. Bro, they've been around since fucking 1988. Sorry.
Doesn't matter. Just enjoy it. It doesn't matter when you stumble upon it. Just stumble upon it and enjoy it.
And the best thing about stumbling upon Cathedral right now is they've got 30-something years of content.
Oh,
and they just put out, like, I was checking on Spotify, and like their newest album came out like a couple of years ago, which is like which means they basically never stopped. See, just a bunch of dudes from Britain. But that's like their discography. I mean, all these are just like in memoriam will be a. But yeah, 2013, 2010. So within the last 10 years, they've got some albums. But like,
oh yeah, they've been around. Jesus.
That's the one I bought right there.
Nice.
And then there's one in 1991, Forest of Equilibrium.
Right on.
And a bunch of live stuff. And it's like, well, at least now I find this band. Look at all these albums I get to listen to.
Fair enough.
Can't be sad about that one.
No, you cannot.
But you know another good band? Godthorn, Rise's Ascension, Day Street Brothel. How was that gig?
Oh man, that gig was unreal. I was so tired for like 3 days afterwards. It was nuts. Like every muscle in my body hurt the next day, and I would have done it all over again.
I remember you were on stage and you said something like halfway through the third band's set, you being in all three bands, man, my arms are tired. And I'm like, stop playing guitar for 4 hours. Because guitar and bass, you just keep switching. It's crazy.
Well, it was that, and it was like lugging all my gear before the show,
not to mention
after the show, and for 2 different instruments.
And the band that we were playing at happens to be located on the second floor.
A whole lot of stairs.
Full flight of stairs, probably about 30 stairs to get up there.
But yeah, some cool stuff coming from Godthorn here in the near future. I don't. The news might be out by the time the video airs. It might not, but we'll do that in an upcoming video. Which is something that's pretty cool to me personally.
Very cool. Very cool.
But we'll get to that in another video.
Yep.
All right.
This is another Down on a Whole Music episode that you just watched.
Thanks for checking us out, everybody. Like, share, subscribe if you want.
You should. They say if you want.
Well, I mean,
we should force
if you at least click the little thumbstick thing on there, then like YouTube will maybe show it to more people so they'll check it out too.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So that would be appreciated.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
Thanks, everybody.